Hello, I hope everyone is doing well. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you on June 14th at 9 o'clock for our reopening service or trial phase or soft open, whatever you want to call it. The church leaders and I thought it'd be wise to make a couple of videos kind of giving people some instruction about worship and how to sign up for worship. This video will cover the plan that the church leaders have put forth. So I will walk through that now with you. So here's our Calvary Lutheran plan, COVID-19 plan for reopening. You can see on the first paragraph there, after prayerful consideration and much thinking, the church leaders of Calvary have come up with a reopening plan. During this entire process of reopening, we continue to pay attention to the synod response and what our fellow churches are doing. As a church, we are also paying attention to the recommendations and guidelines from the federal and state and local governments. We've been doing all those things since day one. Our goal is to be able to share God's word and try to do things in the safest way possible under the circumstances. So we're just kind of starting here with a little encouragement for all of us. It is understandable that there are a lot of different opinions about what to do and not to do in response to COVID-19. Not everyone will be happy with the new procedures put into place at Calvary. There's things that I wish I didn't have to do, but I'm willing to do them out of Christian love for our members. But the bottom line is still the same. In love for one another, we need to do everything we can to keep people safe. Out of Christian love, we would rather err on the side of caution than put people's lives at risk. During all this, we want to remember to respect and support our Christian family. So there's going to be people who have different thoughts and different ideas. We're as a church, just trying to do our best to serve our congregation, to get things rolling, to get our church open, and things, as we will hear, might change as we move forward. But we just want to treat everybody with love and respect that Christ has shown us. The evaluation process, the church leaders will evaluate the process, and they'll be looking at what the county, the state, and country are recommending. And they will also watch what other churches are doing too. We were keeping a close eye on the synod's response, and we're also watching our district president and seeing what they are doing at their church as well. The church leaders will also be watching over me just to make sure I'm doing okay, as well as my family, and I greatly appreciate their willingness to do that. They've been doing that since all this started, and I'm glad to have their support as well as our members' support. I'm really happy with and thankful for what they have shown to me and my family. I also can't wait to actually worship with everybody. It's been hard to the last couple of months preaching to an empty church, and look forward to interacting in some kind of way with all of you. So the council's first evaluation date is on June 28th. So just 3 weeks of services, and they'll already be talking about all of this. Hopeful dates for reopening, prep for phase 1, May 31st. It already happened. We had a meeting with the church leaders and the ushers, and we discussed several things and also went through different procedures for worship. Phase 1, first service will be on June 14th. That is our hope. Worship time will be at Sunday at 9 a.m. We'll have several trial Sundays, the 14th and the 21st, and the 28th is there if we need it. And it's all before that evaluation meeting by the council. Communion, we will not be doing communion on the 14th. We think that it would be hard enough just to get used to coming into worship, worshiping, and leaving. We didn't want to add an extra complexity to it. So we'll have communion on the 21st and the 28th. If we, for some reason, need to add a third service, so that'd be a Thursday and 2 Sunday services, we would do one at 8 o'clock and another at 10. But right now we're kind of taking it slowly and by steps, and we'll just kind of see how things go. The reason why we're not starting up Thursday services right away is because I am currently recording the worship service and uploading all of it to YouTube, and it would be hard to do a Thursday service and that. We would be doing a Thursday service, and then I would need to record by myself on a Friday. So the leaders thought, we'll just do it nice and slow and steady, and we'll gradually get there. So we're hoping to start up Thursday services in July, and that service would start around 6:30 p.m. Once the new camera system is installed, then we'll be able to record the Thursday service and edit during the service as well. And that would save me a day of recording. So we're kind of waiting till that is in place, and that should be early July, hopefully. Again, all these dates are goals. If something is deemed unsafe or something happens, these dates could be moved around. So we have some guidelines for different groups, ushers, worshipers, and even for myself. So we want to support one another because these last few months have been rough on everyone, and they certainly have. We want to, again, show that Christian love to each other. Make worship decisions according to your own comfort level while also respecting the decisions of others. Understand this will be a transition for all people, young and old. For example, kids who attend will need to adjust from worshiping at home to worshiping at church. We will need to be patient with them. I'm thinking of our little one, Aiden. He's been worshiping at home on the couch, and it's been different. And to shift back to church, that's going to be an adjustment, especially for the little ones. And it's going to be an adjustment for us adults as well. So we just want to be patient with all people, especially our church family right now. Any person who has had any contact with known COVID-19 confirmed cases or who has flu symptoms or fever should stay home and self-quarantine. High-risk individuals based on age or predisposed health conditions should take extra precautions to keep themselves safe as well. We encourage people to use the resources Calvary is providing and to stay in contact with Pastor. Like I said, we'll continue to record the services and post those so those will still be available. All members are encouraged to practice the 6-foot social distancing recommendation, except when it comes to immediate family. So if your family unit is sitting in the pew, you don't need to abide by that. Attendees are advised not to engage in handshaking. All members are asked to wear a mask except those who are under 2 years old, according to the CDC guidelines at this time. People are encouraged to use the bathroom at home and use the churches only for emergencies. Ushers will wear masks. Ushers will practice the 6-foot social distancing. They will help assist people with the new procedures. It's going to be different, and we want to be as helpful and kind as possible with that. Ushers may be hand-selected for each service, or a new schedule might be made up. No new schedule is made up at this time. And we encourage our ushers to review this a couple of times just so that they know what to do. Greeters, there will be no greeters during this time. We hope to eventually include them again. We just don't know when. Here are some guidelines for me. Pastor will wear a mask when greeting and distributing communion, but not during the rest of the service. It would be kind of difficult to speak and also with the mic as well. I will practice 6 feet for the social distancing. I will not be shaking hands before or after. If someone would like to speak with me, they're encouraged to call, email, or text. I'm more than happy to talk with our members. Like I said, I really miss that. Again, the recording stuff that is still going on as we speak and will continue to go on. And we hope the new camera system will certainly assist with that. I am currently making videos like this to kind of help our members through the process and maybe make it a little more visual and a little more easy to understand. Attendance, all members are encouraged to register for worship services. Calvary would like to try and abide by the recommendation of 50 people or the 25% capacity. The hope is eventually to have 2 services, again, the Thursday and Sunday, and that will help keep the numbers down per service, but also increase our numbers for how many are able to participate. When it comes to the service on June 14th and 21st, and possibly on the 28th, we are shooting for about 40 people instead of the 50. We think that 40 people could be a little more manageable than 50 right out of the gate. And so we're thankful that you understand and that you patiently work with us too as we try to just gradually ease into this. We don't want to have a lot of extra issues and trying to figure out we need more spots, where do we put people, or things like that. We ask at this time if the spots are filled that you watch the service from home. We appreciate your cooperation during this time again. We want to keep on serving our family here at Calvary, and we will do that. And it might just take some time to kind of gradually get up to speed, like I'm saying. We look forward to worshiping with you as we reopen. I really can't wait. If possible, we ask people to try to attend every other week to allow other people to attend worship. If there are spaces left by Saturday at 11 p.m. or Sunday morning, then you can maybe consider taking them. We just want to give people a chance, especially in these early stages, to have the opportunity to go if they want to. Worship sign-up sheet directions, that is all done on our church's website. I have a video explaining that process, and it is also written here for you if you'd like to read it. We ask that our members help those who are not able to sign up or may have some difficulties. People can call me, and I'm more than happy to assist with that. Thank you again for your willingness to help out in this way. Worship practice and arrival. I'm not necessarily going to go through this in detail because there's another video that explains all this, and we'll kind of walk you through the process. Again, we're going to try to keep 6 feet distance according to the recommendation. There's going to be ushers. There's going to be ushers directing you. There'll be hand sanitizer. There'll be masks available. We ask people if they are able to bring their own masks. And there'll be no hymnals in the pews, but there'll be bulletins located in the pews for you to use. If you feel like printing off your own, you can certainly do that at our website, or you can even follow along on your phone or tablet using the bulletin that is on our website. We will be sitting people by their family units when they sign up. And if there by chance would be one person that would come by themselves and another person that would come by themselves, we would maybe sit one on the left side of the pew and the other on the right side of the pew. That is more than 6 feet. You could actually do 1 and 2 and still have enough room. So that will kind of depend on who registers to come to worship and how people kind of file in to the worship building. There are markers on the ground that I will show you in the video, and they point you to the pew that's available to sit in. And again, the usher will be showing you that. There are 2 pews empty between every pew that is filled, and that is 6 feet and even a little more than 6 feet. Our pews are just separated in a different way, and so we just have to use a pew and then separate 2 pews between the next one. Worship. Again, worship I'll kind of go through, but we'll end up doing pretty much the same. We'll still stand, we'll still sit, we'll still read, and we'll still be singing. There's obviously not going to be any choirs. All the people in the pews are separated by 6 feet. People are wearing masks during this time, and people are asked to sing softly or normally. And there may be few or stanzas sung, and maybe we'll have more responsive readings as well. Music will either be played by Kathy or Elise, depending on the day and things like that. Kathy will be our main organist on Sunday, and if Elise is needed, she'll try to help, but her situation, it kind of depends on the week. HymnSoft is also available for us to use if an organist cannot play. Again, I'm not going to necessarily go through communion because I'll walk through that in the video. You can certainly read it, but I will be taking steps to protect our church family. I'll be wearing a mask. I'll be sanitizing my hands. I'll be 6 feet apart. The altar guild will wash their hands and wear a mask when prepping for the Lord's Supper as well. So you can read those procedures or watch the video. And when it comes to private communion, we remember that communion is kind of a family gathering. And when we can take communion together, we would prefer to do that. But if there are some barriers in place that aren't going to allow that to happen easily, we will work with you on a case-by-case basis. You just email me or give me a call, and we would figure out what we want to do and the times and dates that will work for us. We want to do that in an organized way, and so that we don't have just a lot of people going in and out. Again, the procedures are the same pretty much as what church would be. There's a few added things, but you can read that, and that will also be in the video as well. When it comes to offering, we will not be passing the offering plates. There'll be a container in the back of church so that you can place your envelope in there before worship or after worship. And people are still encouraged to mail their offerings and to sign up for electronic giving as well. That is still an option. So when it comes to the close of service, I will leave the sanctuary or go into my side office. One of the ushers will direct each family pew by pew, one at a time, all the while keeping that 6-foot distancing. Families are encouraged to leave the church building and not gather in the back of church. If they want to practice social distancing in the parking lot, they can do that. We just ask people not to tailgate and stick around for a very long time. So just use your wisdom when it comes to that. While the congregation is being ushered out, the other usher will kind of start cleaning up the church and taking care of kind of typical end of church duties. Bathroom, people are encouraged to use the bathroom at home and use the churches only for emergencies. Understanding that this will kind of depend on the circumstance for some people. You think of little kids and things like that. People are encouraged to use the bathroom one at a time if possible. Again, if possible, we want to try to do our best, although we understand some things just happen sometimes. Photo instructions on proper hand cleaning will be posted in the bathroom just as a friendly reminder for everyone, especially maybe kids as well. Church counting teams will not function during this time. If some extra people are needed, they will be contacted. There will be no offering counted on the day of the worship service. It'll probably be counted later in the week. Church cleaning, we're going to continue to do a good job with that, and we always have. And we'll do the deeper cleaning, and it will be done in the church, fellowship hall, and bathrooms, the places where people are. So that is our church plan. We appreciate all your thoughts and prayers. There's been a lot of consideration, and we appreciate all the hard work the leaders have put in to get this going. It has not been easy. It's been a process, and it will continue to be a process. So again, we were patient with one another. We want to continue to show each other love through Christ, and we look forward to worshiping together and hearing the message of Jesus, that he has died for our sins and he lives. And we look forward to the day when we're not in a world like this, and that we get to be in heaven with our Savior. Thank you again, and I can't wait to see you sometime. Goodbye.